I trust you enjoyed your evening.
I sure did.
After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
I suppose it was too much to hope we were going to be cured here and now. To Moonrise, then.
What were you expecting? That I'd mumble a spell or whip out a potion? I won't be held accountable just because you're naive enough to expect easy answers. Now, allow me to continue.
All right.
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. You're half right. You have to get to Moonrise, but you still have a choice of how to get there. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aradin and
We
his
go
lot
that
were
way
looking for a
because
way
that'll
down
hurt.
there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. Anything is preferable to risking the Shadow Curse. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned.
Let's go.
I advise you start in the Temple of Selûne. If you find the Dark Justiciar's hidden entrance, it could lead you all the way to Moonrise. One of the adventurers had a clue to help find it. A dwarf called Brian. It might still be found on his corpse.
Just Brian.
Wherever the goblins left it. May Sylvanas guide us.
Just
Do
Brian.
not be so impatient to move on as Halsin. As ever, the Githyanki Kresh remains our priority.
Now, can I go to the Githyanki Crush place? Also, we're in camp. Is it worth talking to anybody after the party? I Shadowheart.
All's well, I hope. No. I just wanted to see how you felt after the night we spent together. When we talked and kissed.
Damn right we did.
I hope so too. Though I'm not sure what kind of courtship will be afforded, given all that we're facing. But if you want to see where this goes, I do as well.
Fuck yeah.
Wouldn't you be in my place? If there's even the slightest chance that Shah worshippers remain within our reach, we should try and find them. Even if they're all long gone, and that seems quite likely from what we know, who knows what they may have left behind for us to use? My people are nothing if not resourceful. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, Her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness.
All right, Shadowheart.
It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank.
Hasn't she already said this?
She said I was not ready.
This dialogue before?
Not my
Yeah, she's already said
mother,
this
I should
before.
add.
This is...
The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
That was a load of nothing. Okay, thanks Shadowheart. Go talk to the squad.
That contraption's a hot ticket item. Might not be our last scrap for its sake.
Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints.
Okay. Hey Gale, hey my man, hey brother, hey. How you doing? Did you like an artifact thing?
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact. And soon.
I have another one. Wow, I have a lot of them. You can have this piece of armor that I'm never gonna use.
Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mistra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a
He's like ultra
musician or a
powerful.
poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover. Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. Though not, I think, my methods. I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. But she only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied.
That's me. I'm the goddess.
So I sought to prove myself.
Not the one that
worthy
was with
to her
Gale,
instead.
just in general.
We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale? Very well. Here goes.
Gale lore.
Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise.
How's Moving
I'll
Castle?
save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. In his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms. Until the day Mistra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? You know me. My gestures can never be grand enough. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws.
For more noir.
It's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And God says it ever hungry.
Shadow Lord.
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning.
Shade possession.
This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. Rather worse, actually. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Nuclear weapon.
We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways.
Nah, he's just baggage Andy. Everybody baggage Andy.
That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all.
Thank you, Gale.
I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down.
Thanks, Gale.
I stand at a precipice. But if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
Sure thing. Motherfucker is still freaking here. Where is Will? He's still down by the river?
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all.
An extraction. Lobotomy. No. I choose no lobotomy. I know what this does, by the way.
You only have a matter of days to live. Don't dally, my friend.
If you let him, he fails miserably, and you lose your eye, and you get a fake eye for the rest of the game.
Oakfather's blessings to you. I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me, and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say.
Thanks, Halson. Hey, Lizzie. No! No! Don't pick up her fish skeleton.
Speak quickly.
Can't. She has like a ogre head. What the fuck? Why does she have that?
Gales had this devastating war within himself the entire time, and only just mentioned it.
Got your
Who'd keep a
poor
secret like
mouth.
that from his friends? You can't trust anyone these days.
Shut up, Gale. Shut up, Asterion. Both of you. Both of you shut up. Both of you equally. Shut up. I will.
Damn it all to the hells. We left Joaquin's Rest to burn, and Grand Duke Ravengard to burn along with it. Shit. Shit. Shit.
We did what? What did we do? I have no idea what he's talking about.
In a manner of speaking, Duke Ravengard is my father.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Zero idea. He's surely toasted by now.
Because our relation was no matter of pride. Not least
I have
for him. I
actually
was close to my father once.
no
until he
idea what he's
disowned me
talking
and
about.
cast me out of
Zero
Baldur's
clue.
Gate. Hells.
Literally
he may
none.
have made me an exile.
Actually
But my
no
heart
idea what he's
aches to
talking
think
about.
we abandoned him to the flames.
What are you talking
No,
about?
this can't be his end. Father's vanquished dragon cultists and assassins alike with his own bastard sword. A Ravengard is not ruined by fire nor blood. A Ravengard survives.
Was he part of that building where we saved the guy that was in the fire? I actually just have no idea what he's talking about.
Courage and confidence. You would have made a fine daughter to my father. Me? Well, I've never been able to escape my father's name, try as I might. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers.
I have two sides.
A man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And I see Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind. Not so enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist, brave as Baldur and stubborn as a deep Rothay, daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance.
I like wine.
Hear, hear. Though, truth be told, I'd sooner down a week-old hooch at a ramshackle inn. Better company, and a better buzz.
Okay. I have no idea what my man was referring to. Absolutely, literally, zero clue.